My name is Coach Jacob. I'm one of the owners at Superhero Swim Academy, and I have created this very short and simple series to help you get your child ready for their swim lessons. I'm going to teach you 3 things to do to get your child ready for their lessons before we actually come and get started. The 3 things are going underneath the water, holding onto the wall, and floating on their back. You may ask, why would you start this process? You're not the swim instructor, we are. But if you guys are doing it before we get there, the child will be a lot less shocked and a lot less likely to cry and scream through the lesson. So if you can start to prep your child to get them ready for the things that we're going to do, it can actually save you a whole lot of time and a whole lot of money.
This is Cadet Ray. He's going through a water acclimation exercise today. This is called verbal conditioning. Coach Jacob is saying ready, set, go, taking a cup full of water and pouring it over his face. By watching his reaction to the water over his face, we're able to tell if Cadet Ray can hold his breath or not. This is very important for children this young.
So what you just saw was a verbal conditioning drill. This is what teaches infants how to hold their breath. You can start this as young as 3 months old, and it can be done in the bathtub. I encourage parents to practice this every single day. This is something you should do 5 to 10 times in the bathtub, and it really does work for any age child. You just take a small cup of water, you say ready, set, go, mimic a deep breath, and then you pour it down their face. In this next video, you're gonna see the results of what verbal conditioning actually teaches the child. Watch as the parent goes ready, set, go, puts the child underneath the water and brings them right up. Don't worry, this is something that just needs to be practiced regularly. Every time you're in the pool, it's very simple. Ready, set, go, and under the water.
Right, ready, set, and go.
So let's say your child's a little bit older, they're not an infant anymore, and they still don't like putting their face in the water. You have to make putting their face in the water fun and exciting. Usually kids don't like it because it goes in their nose, their mouth, or it goes in their eyes and they just can't see anything. The most important part is to show children what to do if it does go in their eyes. So teach them to wipe it away. Don't use a towel. Don't let them wipe it away with a towel. Have them or teach them how to do it with their hands and wipe it off their forehead so it doesn't drip into their eyes. If it goes in their nose, you want to teach them to blow out their nose. So if they come up and water went in their nose and they're upset about it, you tell them to blow their boogers or blow out their nose, and it will help to keep them nice and calm. But here's a couple of games that you can play with your child to get them used to the water being on their face and them going underneath the water.
Is your child afraid to go under the water but still loves being in the pool? This is Cadet Winnie. She loves being in the pool, but she just doesn't like putting her head under. Here are a couple of drills to practice with your child if they don't like putting their face in. Cadet Winnie has to reach down, grab the toys, and blow bubbles to get each and every toy. This will help children get better at breath control, and they'll start putting their face in without even realizing it. I also make sure to splash them in the face as much as I can. Picking the children up and putting them on your shoulder, spinning them around is always lots of fun. Now I'm going to throw Cadet Winnie up into the air. When I bring her back down, I want the water to splash up onto her face. She's almost going all the way under the water and she doesn't even realize it. She's having tons of fun during the process. As she gets better, I'll let her fully go under the water. Practice these drills every time you're in the pool.
So now that you've learned all the steps to get your child underneath the water, now it's time to teach your child to hold onto the wall. Holding onto the wall can start as young as 6 months old. All you need to do is show the child that the wall is safe. You can do this by putting toys on the wall and sitting them on your knee and having your knee up against the wall so they have something to sit on and they learn how to hold and balance themselves using the wall. Once the child learns how to hold onto the wall, you can teach them to crawl back and forth, crawl to the stairs to safety, or crawl in and out of the pool. So starting them on the wall is very, very important. It also helps with independence and confidence in the pool. They'll be able to crawl all by themselves, and that way when we come and we separate you two, the parent and the child, it's not a big mess.
Learning to climb on the wall can start as soon as they learn to hold on. Cadet Jackson is only 1 year old, and he is close to mastering this skill. Great job, buddy.
It's time to teach our little one how to crawl on the wall. Cadet Summer is very good at holding onto the wall all by herself, but she doesn't know how to crawl back and forth using her hands. This is a drill that you have to practice regularly every time you're in the pool. If you notice my hands, I'm not actually holding her. I'm just supporting her right underneath her elbows and showing her where to put her hands. I'm also counting 1, 2 each time I move her hands, so she starts to relate moving her hands to saying 1, 2. This will help down the road when it's time for her to do it all on her own. All I'll have to say is 1, 2, and she'll start to crawl on the wall back and forth. The idea is to touch the child as minimal as possible so they they can do most of it on their own. As we near the stairs, it's time to teach the child how to find the stairs with their foot. Once they have their foot firmly on the step and their hands still on the wall, I encourage them to keep on climbing, using their feet to walk up the stairs to safety. You still want to encourage them to use the wall for balance. Make sure to practice this simple drill every time you're in the pool. And like and
So the next step is learning to float on their backs. This is usually the toughest skill for children to learn. And that's why it's so important that it starts with the parents and not just when we come. This is where children tend to become the most upset during the lesson. What I always encourage and tell parents to do is get your child on their back for at least 10 seconds. You put them on their back for 10 seconds. Sometimes they will try to squirm their way out of it. Sometimes they cry or scream. But if you commit to just the 10 seconds and count it out slowly, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., etc. Once you get to 10, you get them up, and then you find something else fun for them to do and to play with. Then you come back to it later, and then you try again. Eventually, the child will start to calm down for those 10 seconds. Once they start to calm down in that 10-second time frame, you extend the time frame to 15 seconds, 20 seconds. This way, when we come, it will be a whole lot easier to get them to float and relax in the pool all by themselves. And again, this will only help your child learn to swim that much faster. So make sure to pay attention.
Watch as this child slowly starts to calm down. Children need exposure to make it normal. Hold your child with both hands at the base of the head. You can try things like singing, counting, or repeating ABCs to them to suit them. Eventually, they will be completely calm and relaxed.
Alrighty, I hope you found this video series to be extremely useful. Again, you might not be super successful in all of the things that you practice here. Your children might not like some of them, especially being on their backs. But the idea is consistency. From you as the parent and us as the coach, your child will learn that much faster. I also encourage everybody to follow us on our social media. We're on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, you name it, we're there. Just type in Superhero Swim Academy. I post lots of how-to videos to take your child to the next level. We will see you super soon at your superhero swim lesson assessment. Have a super day.